What's up, dudes? So I got kind of a little bit done on the T today. Um, I kind of like mocked up the steering, so I drilled another hole out into the firewall. This way I can kind of get an idea of where that's going. And then I also got my boom tubes on the engine now, and we actually fired that up. So uh, I'll show you guys that here in a little bit. But we fired it up with the boom tubes, and it's actually pretty sick. Like, it sounds, you can hear the 11.5 to 1 compression on the motor. So I mean, the cam sounds insane. But once I actually get the motor running and idling right and timed and all this, it'll definitely sound up to par. But here's, I kind of got the steering, so it's just zip tied so I can get the idea of where that's gonna feel. I am gonna mount a brace under here that goes across to here, and then this plate I'll weld it to it, and then the steering wheel can be adjusted right here. And this isn't gonna be the final angle of this, so it's gonna come upward. It's gonna have a little bit of a gap there between the header, and it's gonna be upward about there. And then I'm gonna put a support down there, and then so it'll be supported about right here somewhere, and then it'll be supported in the middle somewhere here. So it should be good enough. If I have to add some more supports, that'll be okay. But those are the boom tubes that are on the car now, and oh man, it just looks freaking sick. Like, I can't express how sweet it is. So I mean, if you look, it's up there. They're definitely taller, and it clears the firewall, and it just sounds radical. I mean, these things way better than the other headers I had. So I was just kind of like mocking up stuff like that. I did get my new bell cranks. Definitely needed something made on a plasma table or anything like that. Hit him up, D-Custom Fab on Instagram. He also did the gussets. You know, there's the idea. F1-27, D-Custom Fab. So I'm gonna cut this. These get cut right here, somewhere in the middle, and then those are the gussets for the top. For the tops right here. So 2 plates side by side, gusset, more gusset, and basically it's gonna replace those. I made those and I like them, but I just wanted more of like a custom race car feel. So, and I think these will definitely set it off. I'm gonna take them, all the anti-rust coating off, make them really shiny, and then paint them up. Guys, look. Oh, okay, that's that. Anyways, if you look, so kind of where these are positioned at, you know, something like this, more oriented towards the driver. I'm gonna make like a housing on the side and the top, because I'm gonna have more switches up top. I might do those on the bottom somewhere I can just like easily access stuff without having to reach, because I was gonna do everything on the dash. The dash, it's gonna have the factory dash, so that'll go back in. I was gonna do something on the dash, but there's no way that I can kind of get to the fuses might go there, but as far as I want to have everything right next to me. You know, I need to kill the car because the throttle's locked up, or you know, something like that. Something's gonna break, or you know, whatever. I don't know. Switch that shit off, and then you know, get out and diagnose it. But you know, this way, because I'm sitting back about a decent amount. I don't want to have to reach forward and then, you know, mess with switches, because eventually I am going to do a harness bar. It's going to start from down there somewhere, and then I'll do it and then have the harness bar, and then I'll have all my harnesses and stuff. So I'm going to kind of be strapped in with the car. So I'll do this here. My wiring, my main wires are going to run from here. I'm going to run them really clean down the tunnel. The only wires that are going to need to go that way are the coil wire, which you see there is the blue one, and then the alternator wire. But I might run that under the long enough one under the frame and then tie it into the battery. But for now, and then I'm gonna make my own shifter out of this B&M one. So I'm gonna cut all of this off, make my own little plate here so that I can still use this, because it's a safety latch, so you can only shift it out of gear if you pull that lever. So whenever I get that, everything else all situated, I want to try and get my pedals in first, like I said. Get my pedals in, get the drive shaft actually bolted in too. This way, you know, that's said and done, and then I can do my safety loop. I take my seat out, take this back half of the floor out, take it out, and then do my safety loop for the transmission, or for the drive shaft, I mean. And then do that, and then I can start buttoning up everything else. I can start running my lines, I could clean up all my wiring, and then it'll be time to throw everything together and finalize everything. So I can throw my door hinges on, my latches, this way I can do that. I can get the roof kind of where I'm gonna put it, because the roof is over there, but I might cut the ribs out and then make a new roof, because it doesn't kind of line up on some of these areas back here. It doesn't, there's too much of a gap, and I might just make my own at the end of the day. And then two, the roof is going to be removable, so I'm going to either bolt it in or do some sort of a Zeus fastener or something, and then this way I can just, you know, twist to the screw, just take it off when I need to take out my seats or anything like that, because there's no way they're going to fit through the door anymore. So I got it, everything has to come up through the top. So roof is removable, and then as far as the roof scoop, which is there, I got to bolt that into the roof itself. And then it's just little things, you know. And then I have to finish mounting my Mishimoto radiator, but I'm not too concerned about that right now. I still have to mount it, weld that into the structure where the fuel cell's at underneath. I have these posts here. I have those to work off of. So I'll do that, and then I have to run my lines from here. Before, on my old radiator, that one, you see they're sticking out on that side. Well, now they're on this side. So now I gotta get stuff and kind of go as close to the radiator itself as possible, around, you know, the electric fan, and then underslung under the rear end this way, because everything does come out this way. So that's going to take some time to figure out, but it's looking good so far. Like I said, I'll keep everybody updated on what's going on. Kind of in the last kind of little steps here, a little bit more fabrication. Like now when I do my cranks, my bell cranks, I'm gonna make a new rod that's gonna, it's all, see, because this is all bushing ended, so now I'm gonna make them with heim joints, with high misalignment heim joints. This way it's more tunable, it's more forgiving, just a smoother ride all around, because eventually all these bushings, well, the coilovers, they'll be okay, but the bushings in the arms, those are going to eventually wear out. They're just cheap little chintzy bushings. So a little bit more fabrication there, and then we'll get the new cranks in. But that's going to be kind of like the last thing. This thing can still roll the way it is. So if I can get this thing running and driving exactly how it is right now, then I'm going to just go for it. Like, I'm probably going to definitely just kind of button everything up. I'll cover all of this on my side. You know, cover this top area here, cover some of that stuff. And then I'm going to leave that side bare for now. And then I want to go test drive the car. I want to make sure it's going to feel good, you know, figure out what else I need to, you know, tighten up. Just make sure it's going to be a running, functioning car before I get to the passenger side. Like, eventually I'll have a passenger side, but for now I just want to drive it. I just want to get out there and, you know, see what it does. But I'll keep you guys posted on that. If you guys like it, you know, like the video, subscribe, comment, you know, whatever, share the video. I appreciate it. It means a lot that you guys support this build, and hopefully future builds. So, on that note, peace out, dudes.
Distributor might need to be turned. I'm not sure. Woo! All the shit fell off the roof. That sounds.
That is fucking rad. Oh!